Welcome.
Thank you.
Great to have you with us today, and very happy, and we're very excited to hear about OSF's journey into India. Just a brief background, Altios has been working with OSF globally across several locations since over 3 years. So Adela, would you like to, I think let's start by maybe sharing with us a bit about OSF's core business first.
Thank you, Madhav. Thank you, Altios, for the opportunity. I really hope within this 1 hour session, the participants will gain some knowledge. You know, 6 years ago, OSF Digital had 0 presence in India, and now we are a striving team hitting milestone on impressive projects with different technology, and that makes the difference, and thanks to Altios as well. So, hello everyone, my name is Adela Szatvanyi. I'm an Executive Director for OSF, and I run APAC region, and I'm part of OSF team for 11 years now. Just to share a bit about OSF, for almost 2 decades, OSF has established itself as a commerce technology integrator with expertise in omnichannel integration, CRM, CMS, OMS, connected commerce, digital marketing, and consulting services. We have the headquarters in Quebec City, Canada. We have offices all over the world, from New York, Rio de Janeiro, London to New Delhi, Bangalore, Seoul, Hong Kong, Tokyo. I would say with this followed the sun strategy, OSF is working 24 hours per 7 for the customer satisfaction. Usually my favorite joke when I deliver presentations to the customers is that when in Tokyo is having the red wine, right? San Francisco team is having the morning coffee, and so in this way we cover all the regions and we are working non-stop pretty much. I will not go to present you the customers we have or had. I don't think we have enough time today, but I will invite everyone here to follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, and maybe to watch the customer success stories on YouTube, because we have a very big list of them, and that covers pretty much different kind of situation. Is it like a B2B integration? Is it a e-commerce website, and so on? And you will see we have customers from different industries. I don't think we have had a single request or a challenge that we haven't been able to implement so far. We build parking places on Salesforce Cloud. We build a hypermarket with more than 2 million products. We build websites to cover 130 countries in 24 weeks. And last year, we launched a magic product to help the customers to cope with COVID situation, Quick Start product. With this product, you can have an e-commerce presence in 2 weeks, also having a dedicated team to manage your business. There is not a single challenge that OSF can handle. We have the team, we have the knowledge, and the Indian team is an important piece of puzzle for OSF.
Yeah, so that brings me to my next question. Where does India fit into OSF's business today? I mean, you mentioned you're present in so many different countries. So, you know, what's been your journey? I mean, what's been your thinking about India?
So OSF has a team of over 1,000 employees currently, and we have more than 30 offices spread all over the world, exactly like I mentioned a bit earlier. In India, we have 35 people, more than 70 people in APAC, the entire region, whose primary objective is to support our clients across APAC. The team structure here in India consists with technical profile mostly, such as developers, solution architect, tech leads, Q&As, but also with senior project managers, and who is responsible for project delivery to our APAC customers. From the structure, I would say that also we have IT recruiter, financial, sysadmin. With their help, we manage and we are helping the APAC team to function perfectly.
So why India? I mean, why did you look at India for APAC? I'm sure there are other countries as well. So what was particular about India?
Oh, it's booming. By the time we are done with this webinar, few new more people would have completed several e-commerce transactions. There are expected to be more than 600 million, right, internet users in India by 2021. At present, India's business sector for internet business areas is developing yearly at a fast pace of 51%. India is switching at an alarming pace from offline to online, more faster than other countries. India is an important role in OSF growth in APAC, and not only. India's workforce is already trained on the programs and software capabilities that OSF utilize in our work, and it's a talent pool that is deep to utilize because of this. And there is one more aspect. Their attitude towards work and tech skills put India on OSF map, and we are planning to increase the Indian team by at least 300% by the end of the year. India's tech industry is booming with talent, and we want to be part of it.
So then tell us a bit about your entry into India. You know, how did you start? When did you first start hiring people in India? Tell us a bit about your journey into India.
I think we started our official operation in India in 2015, right, by working with an outsourcing company. And when the team started to grow and we needed more control on the team, certification, training, support for, let's say, maternity leave, we decided that's the good moment to create a subsidiary. The interesting fact is that actually we don't have a country manager in India. We don't have that role to manage the team because we do work remotely, right? This is in our DNA. But Altios India covers successfully some of the country manager attributions so far. And having a strong support from Altios India is a peace of mind for myself as an executive director, for OSF Digital, but also most important for our employees. For each situation, OSF employees can go to Altios India, and 90% of the cases, or I would say even 99%, is right away, it's like on the spot, Altios team is responding. As you know, as I believe you know, each region in India may have different legislation, and Altios give us support on the matter. This is the reason why we managed to grow smoothly right now.
How many people did you start with when you first came in 2015? And just maybe tell us a bit about how many people you started with in the beginning, how the team grew, and you know, what was your approach to perhaps hiring people? And this, you know, because India, of course, as you said, there are a lot of people with tech skills. I mean, there's a huge you know, workforce that's available. So how did you kind of identify the right people, and how did you start building that team?
Challenging indeed. So we started to the team 6 years ago when one of our worldwide customers decided to have presence in APAC. And OSF having this follow the sun strategy, we decided it's the right moment to test the waters in APAC, right? And that was the beginning. We started with a project manager, a position that in OSF is an interface between the customer and the development team. Then we started to work with an outsourcing company. And from there, everything came naturally. But it was a trial and error kind of strategy. Just to give you an example, even if a team, let's say in Ahmedabad, they are sharing the same office, it doesn't mean they are working for the same project or they have the same technology knowledge. Sometimes on a project can work a developer from Pakistan, one from India, a business analyst from Korea, and a project manager from Tokyo. And imagine we do have a conflict. How are we going to manage that conflict, not being in the same space, not speaking the same language? I mean, we do have English as official language within OSF, but not being the native language. So it's very, very interesting situation. Now we know better what we are looking for, and more important, how to retain them. The strategy we apply in Brazil or in US may not generate results in India or Pakistan.
So what were some challenges that you faced when you started looking at hiring people and building your team? Did you easily find people in India? Were you able to, I mean, did people stay? Did you have a problem with people leaving? What were some of the challenges you faced?
I think what we are looking right now is not just skills team members, but equally important, with great and multicultural attitude. Having this work from anywhere, deliver everywhere kind of strategy, it, in my attribution and also the HR attribution, is to find the right profiles, having this work remotely in mind and ability to work in a multicultural team. So I would say the most important attribute a team member should have, or ideally to have within OSF, is the communication skills, to be open to communicate.
So no, but are you saying? But specifically, I was asking, what are the challenges you had when you first built your team? Well, did you find it easy to hire people initially?
I would not say it was easy because we were not familiar with the market. We were not familiar with how should we approach working with developers, right? Because keeping the developer is not 90% of the cases is quite introvert, right? So we were not reach out to that person to understand what seems to be the situation, like why is he not complaining? That's the problem, because they're not complaining, they are just resigning. So the challenge was, how can I make that person to communicate with me, which I'm based in another country, let's say, right? And to understand what seems to be the situation. What are her or his needs? How can I help that person?
Yeah, I mean, in our experience, yes, I was saying in our experience as well, Indians, we tend not to complain so much to our hierarchy, but we tend to accept a lot, especially if our managers are not in the same country, and they are abroad, and we have somebody else in front of us. That communication doesn't always happen, and so okay, so that's what you faced initially. You were saying.
Yes.
Yeah. So how did you solve that challenge? You know, when people were resigning, did you figure that out through exit interviews? How did you understand that it was because, you know, what the problems were?
Yes, we do have this exit interview with every profile that is every employee that is leaving OSF, and based on this, we do have a lesson learned, and we want to understand better what seems to be the problem. But of course, it's not just me that I have to learn, but also I had to educate my team, the team that is taking the HR interview, for example, the HR exit interview, and also the project manager and program manager. We had to have this communication with them, and for them to understand a bit how should they approach the Indian team. 20 years since I am in business, I learned people are following leaders. So I'm trying my best every day to be a better leader, to listen. That's the most important. So I can assign them on tasks that are more fit with their needs or style or growth desire. And that is, I would say, one of the most important thing that I did in the last years in order to make sure that we have no resignations, which in 2020, we have no resignation from the Indian team. COVID forced us to be more creative now that we are locked down inside the house. And now maybe the situation is a bit more relaxed, but just imagine last year, it was incredibly challenging for everyone to take the calls, having 2 or 3 team members working, all of them online. So we had to adjust it. We had to come with more creative ways of keeping our colleagues engaged with each other, because we had no team buildings, no workshops, no client-facing meetings, no team drinking activities, right? So we came with different kind of strategies, aside the standard ones, training, certifications, which are mandatory in our field. So we have social Slack channels. We have where we encourage everyone or everyone from OSF to start a conversation on the hobbies, for example. Also, we have coaching and we have different kind of programs, e-commerce, e-learning platforms for people to start building their soft skills, right? So we try our best not to put focus only on the technical skills, but also on the soft skills. Do you want to learn how to cook? Do you want to learn I don't know, to play guitar? Do you want to learn how to paint, or why not to negotiate? Where we have a platform, not our own, but it's a third party, and I will give you access to this platform for you to focus on something else outside of your 9-to-5 kind of program. We have monthly calls. Our monthly calls are so funny. We have games, and at least 30% of the time is that around the games, but interactive games, so we can know each other. These monthly calls, each monthly call has a different owner of the call, and he's introducing himself to the team and showing them pictures, like showing us the pictures from his or her hobbies, and also from the family and so on. And in this way, we connected differently. We started to know that person on a different level, not just on Slack channel or on a Skype channel. We just, I know you, even if I never met you before.
And did you feel that made a very big difference in the way people responded in the workplace?
Oh, definitely. They are more open because, like I said at the beginning of the session, tech team members tend to be more introvert. So it's difficult to make that person to be more open and relaxed and to react with a person that never met and from a different culture. Pakistan and India. So we need to make sure that we are unified and we don't have this kind of differences between us, and we are unified by OSF, right? So it's like, why not enjoy it? We have online meditation sessions, online cardio sessions. So we have different kind of activities. Everyone is free to join, of course. And in this way, we share more from our time, from who we are. And this contributes to a team mentality that keeps retention. Like I said, we have 0 resignation in 2020. And not just from the Indian team, but 0 resignation from the tech team in APAC.
Wow, that's quite an accomplishment. That is quite,
for me.
Yeah.
It is quite a win because my team is headhunted constantly, which makes my job challenging because e-commerce is a very challenging industry nowadays.
So that's really interesting because your journey, as you said, your business is organized in such a way that you have these introverted tech experts who are headhunted, and they're spread across several countries. And in India, I think you said you're in 4 or 5 locations. You have your team spread over 4 or 5 locations. And so how do you, and without a country head, without a country manager, and that's one of the things, that's one of the challenges or particularities of India that we see, is that in India, generally you need someone who's a country manager to sort of build that cohesiveness within the team. Yet OSF, you've been able to do that in a way, in a way that not too many people succeed, especially because, as you said, you can have 5 OSF employees sitting in the same room in India, but then they're all reporting to different projects or different verticals. And so building that that sense of togetherness and being part of the team has yielded results, evidently, obviously. So what so what is your strategy for retention? So is this your strategy for retention, that you constantly stay engaged with the team? So how often do you spend as the executive director for APAC? What's your involvement in terms of time and effort in retaining your employees?
When possible, I travel to meet them face to face, because this face to face meeting, it's very important. So in the past, that was my strategy. Also, team buildings. We had team building in Thailand. We had team building in Tokyo for them to connect with the rest of the colleagues and to share from our values and also lesson learned from other projects. I think not just me, I have to train and to have a conversation with the rest of the let's say project managers or program managers that are working directly with the team. It's very important, not just me, to set up this trend, like talking with each and every single team members, but it's very important for my team, like the middle management, to have the same attitude. So that was another strategy, not just me to talk directly with them, but I trained my team, my middle management, to have the same strategy. Hence, once per month, we try our best, me or one of my team members, to have a 30 minutes or 1 hour call with them, one-to-one call. But again, we do have the monthly call where the entire APAC team is participating with camera on. And we are sharing from us, from who we are, actually, not just, behind of coding or managing the project or something like this. We connect on a different level. So
and,
I would
yeah, sorry. Yes. No.
So I would say, go please.
So I was saying, all this time and effort and emotion that you invested in retention and keeping the team together, in building a team, how has that translated into value for your business?
Well, in the moment when one of my team members is resigning, it creates a bit of disbalance, because it means I need to replace that person, right? That person maybe is not available right away. So I mean that to hire a person, to train that person, and also to do the onboarding on the project. If is, let's say, a project manager, right, that person has a direct connection with the customer. So the customer will be affected instantly. So not having resignations in the team, actually it reflects into the customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction means growth for OSF. And I would just say is that L'Oreal, for example, is our customer for 10 years. And we have many similar customers that are together partner with OSF, which means that we do have happy customers due to the fact that actually we don't have many resignations within OSF.
And so what are 2 or 3 key takeaways that you would like to share with that you would like to highlight, actually, from your experience so far from building a team in India, from 2015 to 2021 today, where you started with 1 employee and today you're now at, well, over 25 employees, and you said you want to grow that, you want to maybe grow that to almost 60, 70 employees this year. That's pretty ambitious. What are 2 or 3 key takeaways that you'd like to share with us?
Well, I'm not sure if it's necessarily ambitious, considering the way e-commerce market is growing right now. It's everyone, it's not just India, but India has like a very interesting, a very aggressive piece of growth in online. So I would not say that my plan, OSF plan, is ambitious for India, but let's see at the end of the year. 2, 3 key takeaways. first one is what I highlighted in this conversation is talking with the team members, no matter the profiles. Especially if they are tech profiles that you need to find a way to reach out to them, to help them out to be more talkative, to help them out to open up in order to understand what actually they want and how you can help them to grow. Not having a team that is changing all the time, it reflects into the business KPIs. Another one, from what I noticed in comparison with other markets, Indian colleagues have a respect for hierarchy, and you need to have this in mind when setting up a team for a project or running a region. And one very important aspect is that you need to give them a peace of mind on the administrative issues. Since we started our collaboration with Altios in 2017, we haven't had a single complaining from my colleagues. And we needed someone in India to be our feet on the street, our boots on the ground, so to say. Altios is a trusted name in India, which helps us to leverage premium talent and offer the guidance to build a new region for us. Thank you, Altios, for that. And
no, that's yes, sorry.
Yes, please.
No, so I know that's very kind of you to say, and we have really enjoyed working with your team and seeing this journey, because it's been rewarding. It's been a learning and rewarding experience for us as well. Because one of the first things, when I joined Altios 3 years ago, and we were in the process, my team was telling me about OSF and all the people who were coming, and there were a couple of people who were leaving, but when they told me about the team structure, that's when I was quite surprised that you were able to retain a lot of people, because as you mentioned, that hierarchy is very important in India, and most of the time they need someone here. So to summarize, listening, you would say your advice to companies coming into India or already in India and who are managing people, one is to obviously listen, and when I say listen, it means active listening to your employees, no matter what the profile. The second would be well, I guess listening. Second, like you were saying, your key takeaways was respect for hierarchy. What do you mean? Like, how does that? What do you mean by that when you say respect for hierarchy? How do you integrate that into your whole approach of building a team?
Well, if, for example, a developer is going to work with a project manager, maybe much younger with not much experience, right? You need to make it clear, on how this is going to work, and you need to have the conversation with the project manager, but also with the developer, let's say, what should be expectations on all sides.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's important for the project managers we have are strong hands, not just with the customer, but with the developers. They know how to handle the situation. And the developer is following the project manager easily, because following the hierarchy, right? If the project manager comes and asks you for a help, you are giving that help because you understand what is the hierarchy. Moreover, I don't think I have had many escalations from my team. Again, which again shows that they understand a bit the hierarchy. So they go to first to their manager in line before reaching out higher, and only in, I don't know, in very rare cases this happens.
Okay. So I think now
do you
yes,
agree with me?
I agree with you. I think it's important to we like Meyer and Adorno and Altios, we work almost exclusively with companies coming in and facing such issues as well. and establishing that chain of, so it's important, while it's important to communicate and listen to every single employee, no matter what their profile is, especially if you can within a manageable number, it's still important for them to respect that hierarchy, because hierarchy is there for a reason. And of course, while you are available, I'm sure you make yourself available to every single employee in case it's really needed. It's better for them as well if they can resolve any of their questions or issues directly with their supervisor, their immediate supervisor. So that all. I think we're going to start taking some questions now, some questions from the audience. One of the ones that we see quite often, and someone just asked, is lots of Indian staff don't like to say no. That's completely true. Huh? Indians don't like to say no. So you don't always get real feedback. So how do you deal with that?
Well, very, very good question. Well, here it comes, like I said, about my challenge and HR challenge when recruiting. The focus is not just on the knowledge, on their skills, professional, technical skills, but also on the communication, right? Because we did have the trial and error kind of scheme at the beginning, and was not really the process smooth, right? And when we understood that actually we need to focus on the communication skills more than just knowledge, everything now is going smoothly.
Yeah, so then you would say that
I don't think we actually have in my team anyone that says yes, 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 easily. Firstly, because I know that sometimes I have to challenge that person, you know, why do you yes, that's, you know, part of the communication skills, but also the way we hired is with the multicultural background, or at least understanding this part, and also to the attitude.
No, I think that works well. That works well. You have to develop that communication in people, and so how do you do that? I mean, so is it during? I mean, are you now more informed during the recruitment process to look for certain qualities in people, or do you just say no, we want someone with the best technical knowledge, and then we'll work on them, and then we'll maybe help them with their communication skills?
Well, OSF has a very intensive kind of training program. We have the tools, we have trainers, we have coaches, we do have like the whole platform for someone to advance in their skills. So yes, we do want to hire professionals with heavy certifications and experience and so on, but the first focus is on the attitude and the communication skills. Because we have team in Pakistan, we have team in Cambodia, we have Japan, we have Korea. It's like, and this is just APAC, right? Because we do have US, we have Brazil. Sometimes we have to reach out to our colleagues in Brazil to ask to help us out with the challenge that we have on our project. So you need to be open to work multicultural.
So what's unique about what's particular about your Indian team in how they work or in how they communicate with your other teams?
Can you repeat the question, please?
I'm saying what is unique or specific to your Indian employees as compared to your Brazilian employees or your North American employees?
The Indian team, it's very nice. It's very helpful. Maybe because they don't have this no kind of attitude and they are just jumping in to help you. But that it's very, we appreciate within OSF this kindness and the technical mindset they have, right? They like, it's known worldwide, like how amazing Indian people are on the technology.
And there's a question that's come up about equal opportunity. I assume OSF has, I mean, do you have an actual an active equal opportunity kind of a policy, or, I mean, is it hard to find women in tech roles in India? Because traditionally, at least globally, it's women are not equally represented in tech roles. Maybe it's improving now, but what does it look like at OSF India for you?
My best program manager in APAC is Indian. So we don't have this issue, not in OSF, not in India. I'm sorry, we didn't experience this situation. But
Okay.
yes, it's developers, probably they tend to be more male than women.
Yes, yes. But yeah, we of course need a healthy mix.
Yes, definitely. We are focusing on this.
Great. I think that's it. That's it from us. Thank you so much, Adela, for having shared your experience in building a winning team in India. And as you've said, you've gone from one person to hopefully 60, 70 people this year in a span of 5 years. It's been consistent. You started with one approach. You tweaked it when you realized that things weren't going so well, and I think you found the solution to managing these employees. It'll be interesting to see how you can manage once you have 70 employees, whether you'll still have time to listen to all of them, whether, you know, because but I guess by that time you'll have groomed your managers as well into appreciating that skill set. Yeah. So thank you so much for your time and sharing your story.